across the state show congested Interstate 75 northbound, with the governor asking everyone to be patient.
We're already seeing bottlenecks at major highway junctions, which brings up an important point. You do not need to evacuate out of the state or hundreds of miles away to stay safe. Find shelters in your county.
A list of shelters, evacuation routes, school, and road closures can be found at floridadisaster.org. For the Florida Channel, I'm Krista Brown.
Evacuees from South and Central Florida are making their way north, seeking safety from the storm in the Panhandle. RVs were lined up at a gas station just outside Tallahassee. Many travelers said they'd ridden out storms before, but didn't want to take a chance with the Category 5 hurricane. They said the biggest challenge on the road has been finding gasoline. Hector Betancourt of Boca Raton gassed up before leaving yesterday.
Thing runs on diesel. So the diesel fuel in my area in Boca was already gone by 4 in the afternoon. Yeah. So I had to go onto the turnpike and look for one of the plazas. And actually it took me like 2.5 hours just to get the diesel fuel.
Evacuees said traffic on the interstates has been heavy, stop and go in some places. Emergency officials have said they have no plans to reverse the flow of traffic to expedite evacuations. However, if necessary, they may allow northbound vehicles to drive on the shoulder. For a supply issue. In response, video released today shows state police escorting fuel.
In Florida, what works really well for economic We need partners. We need public-private partners that can be on the ground every single day. And so we have a very flexible system in the state, a flexible organization that reaches all across the state. And Enterprise Florida really is the tip of the spear for traditional economic development. So working with companies who may want to move to the state or grow in the state, working with individuals who help companies make those decisions, going to trade shows, going to other events where states are highlighting why it's so important for businesses to want to come and invest. That's what Enterprise Florida really does, as well as work on trade missions that we know the governor is so feels and knows are so important to the state. Working, we just had another trade mission, and those are the types of things that Enterprise Florida does every single day, and we support those efforts. Visit Florida focuses on bringing more tourists to the state. We've had record number of tourists to our state, and we continue to see record number of tourists with the investment at a full investment that came out of special session we're so excited about. And so we expect to see that continue to grow as Visit Florida is really the face of the marketing to bring tourists to our state, to remind them every day that if you're looking for a beach, you need to come to a beach in Florida. If you're looking for an amusement park, you need to come to an amusement park here in Florida. And so those are really the focuses of those two organizations, where the agency really stands behind them in support of that. We also work really well and strongly with Space Florida, who focuses on commercializing the space industry and the Space Coast and other, the industry all across the state. We also work with the Florida Housing Finance Corporation, which is helping to bring and finance more affordable housing in our state, as well as Career Source Florida, that's focused on the talented and trained workforce that we know we need here. And so the agency sits, kind of in the middle, and we've got a lot of different organizations that are part of the economic development organization as a state to make sure that we are strong and we're on the ground doing what we need to do.
What we heard a lot of in committee and during the regular and then even in the special session was that people around the country, around the world, really know what Florida is all about. They already know that they want to visit. Why is marketing important? And what would you say to them from your perspective with economic opportunity?
So we know we have to continue to remind folks about why they want to come to our state, just like businesses do marketing every single day. If you ask Coca-Cola if it was important to market, of course it is. We see their ads on TV. They want to remind us how much we love. For me, it's Diet Coke, how much I love Diet Coke, and when I see those commercials, I want to go get one. And when you see the commercials for Florida, it makes it so wonderful, especially if you're up north during the winter where you're snowed in and then you see the sunny beaches of Florida where it's 75 degrees in November. It's so enticing. But you have to remind people every single day and make sure that Florida is on the front of their mind when they're thinking of where they want to take their family vacation, where they want to take their maybe a corporate retreat, or overseas internationally. We also have to market internationally to make sure people continue to think of Florida when they think of vacations.
When you were traveling, and as you mentioned a moment ago, making your case to citizens of Florida and to some legislators, and traveling with the governor during the regular session and then some during special session, what were you hearing from citizens, from people in the state of Florida and from business leaders? What were they telling you about what was needed in the state to continue with economic development?
A continued focus on making sure that we have a competitive business environment and that we are selling and marketing our state strongly. So they felt very strong about the continued